Righto, we are back for another week on the putting green in preparation for Christmas Day. In today's video, going to talk about a couple of little issues that have popped up. Got a couple of localized ant mounds that have popped in, and they seem to be in a bit of a in a line. Now, I don't see the point in doing a blanket spray of insecticides just for those couple of little ant mounds there. So what I'm going to do is I'll grab some insecticide in a watering can, and we'll just locally apply product through there. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a cut, apply some PGR with an iron-based product. That'll just alleviate any potential yellowing that can occur when you use a PGR. And basically, finally, well actually not finally, we're going to give this a light dusting just to help improve the speed of the green, fill in any kind of irregularities, lumps and bumps, etc., and just get it right for Christmas Day. So behind me here, you'll see I've got my regular area here that does tend to dry out a little bit more than the green. Now, the reason that is, soil here is got a lot more clay in it, and it takes a little bit more wetting to get water back into it. But I find the best way to get clay areas soaked up is literally using slow and gentle water. So this is here, this soaker hose is here just low. It's just been ticking on throughout the night. About to shut it off now, and we'll still be able to mow that. That won't be a problem, but that should give it a top up of water, and regular irrigation will kick in. Now, I don't know about you guys and where you guys are watching from, but we've had some really hot weather. In fact, the reason there was no video last week was simply because it was too hot and the camera kept cutting out. So unfortunately, I missed last week. As I said, got a nice, cool, humid morning. Sun's about to poke through that sun there and really change my game strategy. But for now, we're right to do a video. Okay, I forgot to do something, but we'll fix it up right now. These couple of sand mounds here, I'll just get a brush or a broom and just sweep them over, just so that it doesn't get picked up by the mower. So that came up pretty well. I'm happy with the results. Obviously now we will treat the ants. We'll put out our dusting, rub it in, and then later on, probably tomorrow morning, we'll put out some PGR. I just feel this afternoon will probably be too hot, and there needs to be 6 hours either side of a mow before applying that sort of a product. Now, Primo Zoysia is also really looking quite good. Tiny little bit at this bottom corner here. That's still got to continue to fill in, but it's going pretty well. But now we're really starting to get some amazing coverage. Little tiny bit of dry patch here along the side of the pathway. Still got to treat that oxalis. But as we get into this more established section, it's absolutely nuts. It really does look like a rigid green. Now that height of cut is 4 millimeters, so it's exactly the same as this Santarana, and you can just see how, to be quite fair, Santarana is not really designed to be a greens height sort of green, if you will. Well, it's not designed to be cut right down to those crazy low heights. you'd probably be better off with Santoran or Tiff Tough or T31 or one of those people for the lower height of cut. But hey, with a bit of persistence, you can get it down to quite an acceptable amount. And by the time we put some dusting over this, it'll really improve it again. But nothing like this. This gets next to no attention really. And it's born for it. It really, really is. And although being a bit slow in my climate, I think it's worth persisting with, even for the effect. So anyway, let's deal with the ants and move on. Righto, so we just mix up a bit of bifenthrin with water in a watering can. So we're just going to do a localized application. Because this is what we call a high volume, you won't need to water this in afterwards. The amount of product over the area will help that get down to where it needs to be. So we'll just go across that there now and that little bit up there, and we'll move on. Okay, it's important to remember when you're doing this sort of stuff or using chemicals such as insecticides to keep pets and kids well away from the area until it dries. Now, bifenthrin will actually stay active in the soil for a short period of time, a week or so. So anything that we don't get today should take care of the bugs and grubs and ants in our case, going forward for the next week or two. Now, yes, I have used Acelepryn GR on this area. Unfortunately, one of the things that Acelepryn doesn't handle is ants. So we really need to reach for something with bifenthrin. Off the top of my head, that's a good one. And fipronil, I think it's pronounced, is another option. Okay, so time to throw a bit of sand around. Now, today we're only going to dust the green. Now, what dusting is literally that. It's a really, really light application of top dress, but we do things a little bit differently. Well, I choose to do things a little bit differently. Number one, we need absolutely the driest sand we can get. And I like to actually sift through a sieve, just in case there's a few rocks and pebbles or impurities that we don't want to get on the green. Because the concept is, we don't want any surface disruption at all. We just want to sort of firm that surface up, fill in any really tiny irregularities. And when we're finished the dusting, we don't really want to see we've done it. So going to use the Master Top Dresser again today. Now, it can be a little bit of a fussy thing when it comes to soil moisture, etc. Now, when it comes to dusting, however, I think that thing's almost made for it. Now, I have the setting closed right off, so I have it on the absolute most shut setting, but I need my sand to be 100% dry. And I find if I put it through the sieve, I don't have any issues when it comes to not spreading evenly or not coming out. So ideal for dusting. So we're going to sieve the sand now. It's not a huge amount. It probably won't even be a whole wheelbarrow load over the green. So we'll sift out this here now, chuck it into the barrow. We'll feed it into the top dresser, and I'll go over it once, see what it looks. I might actually do a double. So we'll just sort of see. It'll just be a really light rub over with a level on. And that's all it's going to require. And as I said, tomorrow morning or something like that, we'll come back and we'll put out our Primo, which is our plant growth regulator, and we'll add some iron style product, liquid product to that to compensate for any potential colour loss that we receive. Righto, so we've got, that should be enough, I'd say. Tiny little bit of damp stuff there. I was trying to scrape around shallow bits that were dried right out for the recent hot weather. I think I've got enough here to go over it. We've got some nice free flowing sand that should go through that spreader on the most closed setting, and hopefully we can get over that twice. If I have to get a bit more sand, I'll have to try and dig around pretty hard. It's a bit moist in there. since I've had some irrigation happening in this hedge behind us, which has run through and soaked up into the pile. So around the front here it wasn't too bad, and a little bit over here. So hopefully we've got enough, but there's only one way to find out. Let's get on with it. Okay, so been over the area once now, and I did 2 laps going over the area twice, and I kind of feel that this is a little bit excessive because we're getting back into more of a light top dress here than a dusting, because when we sort of rub over this here, it goes, where here there's still quite a little bit of sand left. So I won't be going across the green twice, I'll just be going across it once, rubbing it in, and that will be ideal. Okay, so that's all rubbed in now. As I said, you can still see it was a little bit excessive over there, but basically what we can do is I can probably come back in a week's time and give it another single going over, and as you can see, that'll be perfect for what we're looking to achieve. Now, this should really also help green this thing up to the next level as well. So we're gonna really give it all we've got. So we're coming into Christmas now. I was going to actually put the PGR out tomorrow. I think I'll do that this afternoon, because by rights I'm good to go after 3 p.m. So just depending on the weather. The other reason I've brought it forward is irrigation. Is that my irrigation system is due to run tomorrow morning. So I don't want to get to a point where I can't apply any products because sprinklers are on at the wrong time, etc. I just really want to push on and get this done. So hopefully this afternoon, be able to come back, put down some PGR, and I'll talk to you about why I'm going to do it a certain way. Okay, as you probably worked out, it's not the afternoon, it's actually about 6 a.m. the next morning. Yesterday got far too hot to spray, so I thought I'd wait till a cooler morning. Now, I also mentioned about irrigation, so I ended up suspending the cycle, but I did actually do something that I don't normally recommend. I actually sent the irrigation system through the cycle last night. Given the fact that we actually finished the day with really, really low humidity, we actually don't even have any dew around this morning. It's just that dry. So it was safe to do that. Everything's wet, well, everything's watered. So we're right now to put out our Primo. Now, Primo is a plant growth regulator. What it's sort of like is the best way to put it. It's a little bit like a traffic jam in the traffic, if you will. This becomes a barrier for the growth, or the cars, like if we talk about cars. So the barrier goes up, the roadblock goes up, the cars sort of can't get past, therefore the grass doesn't grow, if that makes sense. Now, a little bit like a traffic jam, once the barrier is taken down, in other words, once this product wears off, you can get a surge of growth, or in the case of the cars, a surge of traffic continuing. So we need to make sure we're readily applying this within a certain window. Now, there's a number of different ways you can do that. You can apply it every 3 or 4 weeks, etc., during the growing season, or you can use a tool that's known as a growing degree day calculator. Now, you'll find one of those on the Syngenta turf website. It's really easy to use, and it will send you a notification when it's time to reapply the product again. All you need to enter into that is your location and how many growing degree days you wish to calculate. So usually I'm sort of somewhere around the 250. This time round, I'm taking a different approach. I'm actually going to go down the road of a more frequent application of the product at a lighter rate, rather than heavy applications at a more with a longer interval. So I'm going on a 180 degree day, growing degree day program at the moment. And as I said there, I'm going to put in some iron-based products. So the one I'm going to use is the Plant Doctor Green Max, or Max Green. I'll put it up on the screen there. It also contains a little bit of nitrogen, but which is fine. Again, fertilizer isn't going to cause the PGR, or the plant growth regulator, not to work. It'll continue to work as intended. It'll just also provide nutrient to the plant to keep it strong and healthy. So no dramas there in applying a product like that with plant growth regulator. If you accidentally apply plant growth regulator and want it to grow out, unfortunately fertilizer isn't going to solve that. It just has to wait for that roadblock to be removed. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get this out and we'll crack on. Okay, when we put this out, because we've got 2 different height grasses here, there's 2 different product rate ranges. So we've got obviously a lesser amount for the green and a higher rate for the surround. And on the label it talks about, maximum, minimum amounts for the situation. Now, spray suit for me, basically because in case something leaks, I don't want it running down my back. Second of all, because I wear shorts, I don't want any spray drift to be absorbed into the skin that way. So safety first, guys. It doesn't hurt just to take the precautions. So. Righto, so Primo is applied. We don't need to water it in. We just apply it as it is. We leave it now. It'll do its thing. The iron and fertilizer combo, again, will be fine to be left on the leaf. There's no dramas there. Anyway, guys, look, we'll wrap the video up here. If I get an opportunity to do another video before Christmas, I will. If not, I hope you have a fantastic holiday season, and we'll catch you soon on the Aussie lawn.